So the PlayStation Portal got a huge update this week, which has eliminated one of its biggest flaws and made it one of the best value for money handhelds on the market. And yes, I mean that. I bought the PS Portal last year and I made a video reviewing the device at the time. Back then, I said I thought it was worth the money. Fast forward to now and that statement is more justified than ever, because now you no longer even need a PS5 in order to use it. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I bought my PS Portal last year because I wanted to be able to play my PS5 games away from my console. And at the time this was a pretty bare bones device, only allowing you to connect to your PS5 via remote play and play your games on the go. No local storage, no cloud gaming, and you could only connect to home Wi-Fi systems. It was very limited, but it only cost £200, which is much cheaper than any of the other handhelds on the market at the time. But a few days ago the Portal got a massive update which changed all of that, turning this device into a much more fleshed out handheld and adding much more value. Enter the cloud gaming update. A limited beta version of cloud gaming was made available a few months ago, which allowed you to stream a select few games from the PS Plus catalogue on the device without need for a PS5 connection, and at the time this was a fantastic leap. However, PlayStation have now taken it a step further, with the cloud gaming features coming out of beta for full release and bringing some truly great updates. Alongside being able to stream the PS Plus catalogue of some 300 or so games, you are now fully able to cloud stream your own digital library without any need to connect to your PS5. In fact, you don't even need to own a PS5 to be able to play your PS5 games on the Portal. And this is what we all wanted from a PlayStation handheld in the first place. All in all, you can now stream and play up to 2,800 games on the PS Portal completely independently from a console. And bear in mind, this still costs the same £200 it did when I bought it a year ago. So I can now pick up my Portal and play some of my favourite games like Astro Bot, God of War, Power Wash Simulator, and my PS5 isn't on. It doesn't need to be. So I no longer have to rely on both my Portal and my PS5 having good internet connection to play my games, just the connection to the Portal itself. It's important to note, of course, that you do still need a Wi-Fi connection to be able to play any of these games, as the device doesn't have local storage. And this does only apply to digital copies of games, not physical ones. So for example, I unfortunately cannot play Ghost of Yosei on the Portal because I have the disc version and not the digital. Although that's not a big deal for me because I've finished the game anyway. But it still feels now like the Portal is an independent gaming device in its own right, and I love that. So let's take a look at some of the games that you can stream on the Portal now using the cloud streaming feature. As mentioned, we have the PS Plus catalogue, which are all available for you to play without the need to have purchased the games previously, and there are actually some really good titles in here already. Games like The Last of Us 2 Remastered, God of War Ragnarok, WWE 2K25, Spider-Man Remastered, Ghost of Tsushima, Cyberpunk 2077, Death Stranding, and it's not just new games. You also get access to the classics catalogue too, so you can enjoy nostalgic games like Lego Star Wars 2, Jak and Daxter, Time Splitters. But of course, I wanted to try streaming the games that I already own to see how they perform on here. You currently can't stream every game that you own, but any game which has the streaming feature visible on the PS5 appears to work on the Portal. And you can check out the full list of available games on the PlayStation website as well, and it even shows some upcoming games which are going to be available too. So firstly, I wanted to try some Outer Worlds 2, as this is a game I've been meaning to play more, and now I'm able to thanks to this update. And the game is running really nicely on here. I was actually really impressed with the quality of the game while streaming, and I experienced less stuttering or drops in clarity than when playing via remote play, so that's a big bonus. Next, I wanted to try some Forza Horizon 5, which again looks really good on here and runs very smoothly. But this is also one for people who say, oh, you can't play Xbox games on the PS Portal, because the fact that more and more Xbox games are becoming available on the PS5 means that more are now becoming available on the Portal as well. Next, I tried some Doom the Dark Ages, because this game always has a lot going on. It's quite a chaotic game with lots of action, but once again the Portal is handling streaming it really well, and the game looks absolutely beautiful on here. Power Wash Simulator 2 was another good one to test, as this requires good accuracy and response, and there was absolutely no issue playing this on the Portal. It ran as smoothly and accurately as if I was playing it on my PS5. Now of course the quality will depend on how good your internet connection is, and you will still need to connect to Wi-Fi to play play any of these games due to the fact that the PlayStation Portal doesn't have local storage, so you can't download any games to the device. If you wanted to check on the quality of your connection, you can hit the PS button, and in the troubleshooting settings there is an overlay which gives you information about your connection. And if needs be, you can also change the resolution of your games between 1080p and 720p for a smoother experience. As mentioned, overall there are around 2,800 games streamable on the portal, but before we go any further, I will say to access any of this, you do need to have a PS Plus premium subscription. So once you buy the portal, you do have to pay the subscription fee on top, which may be off-putting to some people. But one thing I will say is that buying the portal and paying for 2 years of PS Plus premium is still cheaper than some of the other handhelds on the market, and it's by far the best way to play PlayStation games on the go, and of course a lot of Xbox games now too. So the major benefit of this update is the fact that you no longer need your PS5 to be turned on to play your games, but it actually goes further than that, because whilst you're enjoying your games on the portal, your console is freed up for use by others. So if you have multiple user accounts on the console, you can play your games on the portal while someone else plays on the console on their account. So now me and my fiance can game at the same time if we wanted to. Not that our kids ever give us the chance, but the option is there, which is nice. Now, aside from the games themselves, PlayStation have also added a bunch of new features and upgrades to the portal with the new update. The first of these is a brand new UI, which has had a complete refresh to make navigating the device much easier. When you load up the device, you are brought to a screen with 3 tabs. The first is for connecting to your PS5 via remote play, the same as before. Then you have another tab which is for the cloud gaming options. In here you have a list across the top with some of your recently played games, so you can jump into them nice and quickly with no hassle. Then underneath we have 2 more options. The first is streaming games in your library, and this is where you'll find your entire digital library of owned games which are available to stream on the portal. Then the other option is streaming games on PlayStation Plus, and this is the library of PS Plus games that you can stream without having had to purchase them previously. Then finally, the third tab is a search feature which allows you to quickly and easily find specific games that you want to stream, and is also a good way of finding out which games you can or can't stream on here without scrolling through the list of games on the PlayStation website. For example, I wanted to try some Battlefield 6 on here, but the game isn't currently available to stream. But overall, I like what they've done with this layout. It makes it nice and easy to navigate between remote play and streaming, and to find the games you want to play quickly. Another new feature is this quick menu down the side, which can be accessed by pressing the PS button. In here you can choose your paired console, adjust the brightness of the device, access PS Link devices, manage your settings, or if you're in remote play you can also bring up the PlayStation home screen on here as well. Alongside the UI refresh, the update also adds the ability to add a passcode to your device so others can't access it. You can also now receive game invites while using the portal, or quickly join multiplayer sessions from the quick menu. In-game purchases are now available on here as well, so you can grab things from in-game stores without having to leave the game. But it's important to know you can't buy games themselves on here yet. It will instead display a QR code which you can scan with your phone and purchase in the PS app instead. There's also new accessibility options such as screen reader or adjustable text size, which again can be accessed from the quick menu. And for those of you who have audio devices such as the Pulse earbuds, the portal also now supports 3D spatial audio in both remote play and cloud streaming for supported games, so you can enjoy an enhanced audio experience. So is picking up a portal right now worth it? Well, you know, I said earlier in the video that I thought it was worth it back when I picked it up a year ago and it was just a simple remote play device. And with this game-changing update, it's not only worth it, I think it's one of the best value handhelds that you can get. All these new features come with the device still costing £200, and even though you do need a PS Plus premium subscription, at £120 for a year, you can buy a portal and pay for 2 years of PS Plus, and it would still be cheaper than some of the other handheld options out there. And with more Xbox games coming to PlayStation now too, it's not like you're unable to access exclusive games either, so it's become a more viable option in that sense as well. I actually have, I think, 6 different handheld devices at the moment, and the portal has consistently been my go-to ever since I bought it. I use it all the time and I love it. And this update has taken what I already enjoyed and made it a whole lot better. But of course, I'm interested to know what you guys think, so let me know down in the comments any of your thoughts on the device and the update, and whether you agree or disagree with anything I've said. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video, then hit that like button to show the algorithm, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. But for now, I'm off to play some more games on the portal. See you later.